Can I just say that my timing could not get any better? Seriously, I feel like I'm good to post a video on here at least once every year around Christmas time, and here I am doing it again at the start of December. How's it going, boys? My name is Alchemist, and welcome back to the Alchemy Corner. I really miss saying that intro, man. It is genuinely something that just gets me so juiced up all of the time. And we're back on one of the worst gods ever made. I don't know why I keep playing this game. But I think going forward we're gonna move over to some of the more classic titles that everyone's familiar with, that everyone regards as the best gods. So yeah, stay tuned for that. So yeah, you read the title right. I'm quitting Alchemist. Quitting's not really the right word. I would say maybe just taking a break for a very long time. Now, if you're watching this video before watching the one on my main channel, I would recommend you go watch that one first, but feel free to stick around if you want the more detailed and unfunny explanation on here. I'm gonna get to the how and the why, all that stuff. Don't worry, I'm not gonna sit here and make stupid jokes like I did on main, because you know, you guys have stuck with me for a while, and I feel like you deserve something a little bit more than that. Disclosure, this is probably going to be a lot of TMI, so listen, if that's not your thing, I understand. You can hop off the video now, but if you do, just know I hate you. But yeah, man, let's do it. I could give you the short answer and say I don't know what I want to put on that channel, which is true. But with me, for those who have watched for a long time, you know it's not that simple. There's a few things I've been going through, and you know, I'll get to that in a second. But firstly, I just wanted to say that I really enjoy doing the Alchemy Corner episodes still. I just, you know, I feel like I never am able to find the time to properly flesh them out. So I guess the big question everyone wants answered is, why am I doing this? Where did this all start? Why do I not want to do my main channel content anymore? So I'm just going to be honest. There was quite a few things that happened, but the first thing was just talking to some of my content creator friends about it. And by content creator friends, I mean my real friends, because I don't know any content creators. At least, you know, not successful ones. So I met up with a buddy of mine a couple of weeks ago, and just over a long dinner, we just talked about all things YouTube and content creation, why we want to do it, why it's such an appealing job, why it's not realistic that we would make it, why is it the odds are stacked against us, why does the algorithm work the way it is, all the boring YouTube stuff that I'm sure a lot of you want to hear. He told me that he was struggling with, you know, creative flow. He was telling me that he'd never found motivation to make any video because it just was too hard for him. He was talking about how he'd go to bed thinking about YouTube. He'd wake up thinking about YouTube. While he was at his job, he was thinking about YouTube. And like his desk just had a bunch of sticky notes and journals written with a bunch of YouTube ideas that he just never was able to complete. And he was telling me all this, and I realized that this was something I could relate to in a pretty big way. And you know, I don't like to let my personal emotional side leak out onto the internet because I don't think that's everyone's business, but this has kind of been the only serious platform I've ever had, and I feel like this is probably appropriate to post here. I think I didn't really realize until I had that lunch with my friend that, yeah, YouTube has taken over my life in a lot of ways too. I'm stressed. The wheels are constantly turning. I'm trying desperately to come up with new ideas that are super creative, not necessarily for views, but look, man, let's be honest. If you make YouTube videos, you're hoping that one of them blow up. And you know, it kind of sucks because I think that us small content creators have the odds stacked against us. Once you make it big, you don't have that problem anymore of trying to get discovered. You're now focused on maintaining. And if you have an organic fan base and original content and a good system, for the most part, you're pretty much fine. Despite all the controversy, Mr. Beast is pulling in millions of views still, and a lot of people don't know how, but hey, man, like that's just what he does. But for people like you and me, the common man, blue collar content creator, it's really hard for us to even break into that space. It's crazy because the other night I was up super late. God, it must have been 3 a.m. and I was making a bunch of channel art and emotes. It was things I was genuinely excited to be making, because I was like, oh, wow, this looks really cool. And, while I'm doing that, I have YouTube pulled up to the side. I think a lot of us do if we're doing something. And I came across this video in my recommended. It was crazy. So there's this video by this guy called Fart Sniffer, which is the coolest name ever. And I'm quoting the title here, but the title of his video literally said, "If you see this, the YouTube algorithm is bullshit." I'm like, wow, that's crazy. So I click on it. Curses in like the first 10 seconds of the video. And for YouTube, that's a big no-no. To sum up, he was basically like, I think that the YouTube algorithm sucks for lower level content creators because they always appeal to the major content creators instead. And by the way, I totally agree with that. He posted a follow-up video 2 days ago called "I Broke the YouTube Algorithm," and I thought this was crazy. That original video he posted got 635,000 views and 133,000 likes. It had like 15k comments. The comments were blowing up. It was actually insane. It's so interesting because since seeing this video, I've seen multiple other videos with the same style of video and the same title over and over and over again. But the guy that did this was just doing a Call of Duty commentary, like I am right now. Why am I mentioning this? What does this have to do with me quitting Alchemist? To put it so bluntly, I'm tired of catering to an algorithm that is not willing to give me a chance. I don't want to feed the content beast. I don't want to be a content slave. I don't want to adhere to preset rules and regulations for how you should make videos on a platform that you are supposed to express yourself. I want to make videos that I want to make that I think are very creatively unique. I don't want to be a robot. And the messed up part is YouTube rewards you for buying into this algorithm that they have set up and gives you little confetti on your little analytics page. It's so fun. The app is designed to be addictive. We all know that. When we're scrolling through Instagram Reels or TikTok, it's the same thing. But for YouTube, it's, hey, we'll give you a little breadcrumb if you listen to our rules and regulations, and if you do what everybody else is doing instead of being a unique content creator. Which, by the way, is exactly what helped build the platform in the first place. I just see carbon copies of the same stuff over and over again. And somehow each time they get worse. Why do you think the day one content creators like PewDiePie, Jacksepticeye, Markiplier, Nigahiga, all of these guys, why do you think they don't get as much enjoyment out of it now? They all have collectively said at one point or another in their careers that YouTube has changed. It's not about being creative anymore. It's not about having an original idea. It's not even about making people laugh. It is all about how well can you adhere to the system and do everything that you are supposed to do. And I'm getting emotional over this because this has happened to plenty of people I watched. Those four I mentioned, I've watched them, still do to this day. I'm seeing this with old Minecraft YouTubers I used to watch. Jerome ASF, Bayesian Canadian, who have basically given up on trying to be original. And it's not their fault. They have to adapt to wherever the money is going. And, honestly, at their age, I understand that. But I'm 24 years old. I'm not washed up yet. I still think I have a lot to prove on this platform. I'm just asking for a chance. But I might as well be talking to a brick wall lined with concrete. I don't think YouTube will ever give me that chance. And I've come to accept that. It took a long time for me to wake up from trying to please YouTube and instead try to please my fans that actually want to watch what I make. And I'll be totally transparent. That was half the reason Minecraft was even going on my main channel. And when I was unhappy with it because it wasn't stuff I wanted to make, I stopped. But I didn't realize how deep it had actually gone. As I'm recording this, I just decorated my room with Christmas decorations. And I'm looking at these lights, but it makes me realize how much I forgot when I started this. I wanted to make videos that would make people laugh or videos that were entertaining. I wanted those videos to be something I enjoyed doing and hopefully other people too. And I think somewhere along the way, I lost sight of that. And I'll be honest, I feel terrible. I do, man. I think my vision of YouTube has been skewed from what I once thought it was. I thought it would be something as simple as coming on and recording a Call of Duty gameplay for 12 minutes and call it a day, but it's just not the way it works anymore. I mean, those of you that are finding success with that, awesome. I really wish I knew who you were so I could support you fully, but for me, I just don't see it working out. Now, I'm not entirely quitting. I'm still going to be active on here when when I remember the login information. And maybe some streams here and there, but for the most part, I am going to take a bit of a step back, put content on the back burner at least for, the rest of 2025. But I think me stepping away is a good thing because for the first time I feel like I'm going to be taking care of myself. When I started Alchemy Corner in my college dorm room, that I swear I've told this story like 5 times on this channel already. It was a great experience. I felt passion for YouTube again. I fell in love with making YouTube and making videos again. But my physical health started to decline a lot. All that time in my college dorm room when I wasn't working was making videos. And as a result, I gained a lot of weight from it. Everyone talks about the freshman 15. That's that's when you get to college and for your freshman year, you gain 15 pounds just because you're, I don't know, maybe eating out a little more than you usually do or something like that. But my freshman 15 ended up being a freshman 60. Yeah. And I'm still very overweight for my age. I don't really talk about that, but it is something that I'm very self-conscious about. And, no one really knows that about me. And it's something that I've actively tried to hide just because I'm pretty ashamed of it. I'm ashamed I haven't been able to take care of my body sooner. I'm ashamed that I haven't been able to just change some things in my diet or my day-to-day that maybe prevents that from happening. And getting lost in wanting to create something that I enjoy and something that will make people laugh and something that is a passion project of mine, I neglected my health, both physical, mental, just everything. I didn't take care of myself. And for the first time in a long time, I'm making the decision to do that. It wasn't an easy one. I'm a workaholic, at least when it comes to this. And, I had to sit down and be honest with myself and really analyze, is this really worth doing if this is not going to pay off? I already talked about how frustrated I am with the algorithm, how YouTube just seems to have everything stacked against me. Why would I slave so much of my time, both physically, mentally, creatively, and just suffer because of it? Why sit here and endlessly try to make something happen? Try to catch lightning in a bottle and nothing's paying off except I'm gaining weight and my mental state is declining. I wouldn't say I'm depressed, but I'm up there. I wonder sometimes if pursuing all of, this avenue of a potential job or a hobby was a mistake. And that can also be equated to the intense workload that my school has given me these past couple of semesters. And I know everyone, jokes about that. Like when someone's like, "Oh man, what are you struggling with?" And they're like, "Yeah, school, man. These exams, these exams are rough." But no, dude. For me, it's affected me in an entirely different way. That entire period where I posted nothing, I was just so burnt out on content. I was so creatively gone. And, I touch on a little bit of this on the main channel, but really that video doesn't do it justice to how much like school has been affecting me creatively and honestly just mentally. There are days I come home drained, exhausted, tired, even stressed for just all of the stuff that I'm expected to complete in the program that I'm currently in. I'm not a big believer in, dropping out of college, but I'll be honest with you, I thought about it once or twice this semester. But I know that'd be a stupid mistake because that would mean I would want to try and do this full time. And I just can't do that sustainably if I don't have a job. That's not the realistic thing. Until I make enough on here for me to be permissible, I guess you could say, to quit my job, I'm still going to try and be employed. And I know the word employment makes so many of you jump out of your skin. It's the real world, whether you like it or not. It's demoralizing too, to just see me put in so much effort on my assignments and my projects And then, we have a day in class where we all present our stuff. And I feel like no hate to my classmates, but they blow me out of the water every time. And, that really just kind of kills my confidence of like, man, am I creative enough? And I know that's ridiculous, but that's how I feel. I don't regret joining the program. I don't regret wanting to do college, but I'll be honest with you, I feel like I could have learned a lot of it just by looking up tutorials at home. I'm not saying college is a waste of time. Sometimes I wonder. It probably also has to factor into a lot of the stuff we're learning right now is not stuff I'm necessarily interested in. We're doing a lot of graphic design work and motion tracking and all of this stuff when I really just want to make films, short films, do camera work, all of those things. That's my bread and butter. I also want another editing class. I enjoy it a lot. But really, man, this all just boils down to my frustration with this line of work. Now, I've already touched on it some in this video, but I just hate how it's all formulaic now. I don't know why the videos that are so simple, that are Call of Duty commentaries or Let's Plays or gameplay walkthroughs, they just don't get that attention anymore. I'll be honest, I think that short form content has killed YouTube. And a lot of people might not agree with me on that. I mean, with the existence of TikTok and YouTube Shorts and Instagram Reels, that seems to be everywhere. But watch time is considerably down. People would rather watch short form content in the sense of Reels or Shorts or TikToks than watch a full length video. And the only reason they're ever watching a full length video is literally because of a famous creator. Mr. Beast never has to worry about his fans clicking off of a video that he made. He's Mr. Beast. But it really puts the small content creators at a disadvantage. I've been doing YouTube for 11 years. I know that my catalog of videos may not show for that, but I've always been trying to work on stuff behind the scenes, learn the algorithm, learn what makes everything else work. And my efforts have proved fruitless. The only time I've ever cracked 1,000 views was on my hockey channel. But my hockey channel videos were short form content. They were not videos that I liked making. I just did them because I thought that's what you had to do to be successful. And I really don't think that's the case. I'm still a big believer that we can do it the old-fashioned way and still be just as successful. This video seems like a whole woe is me situation. That I'm bitter that I've spent all this time on YouTube and I've never blown up, but I really could care less about that. I'm more concerned about the integrity of the content space. I mean, think about it. Is the short form content going to be sustainable long term? What is going to be the next thing in YouTube that breaks the internet? The answer, I have no idea. But here's what I will tell you. We are losing the lost art already of long form content and gameplay walkthroughs and Let's Plays. It's all gone. I never see those anymore. And I get really sad looking back at my old favorite YouTubers that I adored watching grow up try and just do what YouTube says they should do, knowing that that's not how they got where they're at. People like Jerome ASF and Beijing Canadian are trying to keep up with YouTube's demanding schedule. 6 videos a day, super short form content. Very exciting, always trying to keep your attention, but never the raw, uncut footage that they would have back in the day. The Hunger Games episodes, the series with Crazy Craft and How to Minecraft. I mean, there is just so much that's been lost to time. And obviously, Minecraft is only a small part of YouTube at this point, but, I do think that this is happening site-wide. But how does this affect me? How do I feel about all this? I'll be honest. It's rough. I go to bed every night questioning everything. Questioning if I should be doing YouTube. Questioning if I'm built for YouTube. Questioning if the videos and the things that I create and that I make for my fans will be good enough. And sometimes I just don't know if they will be. And to be honest, 2025 didn't really help either. Regardless of all the things I've said so far, this year was objectively pretty horrible. I had a very rough breakup in the beginning of the year that I couldn't get over until recently. Like I'm saying, maybe a month or two ago. And it just absolutely demotivated me in terms of just everything I wanted to do. You know, some days I wake up, it still hurts, if I'm being honest, you know, just how it all ended. And I genuinely questioned if something was wrong with me. And I lost a ton of friends, friends that I would have considered to be lifelong friends that just left. And a lot for very stupid reasons, but it just needed to happen. But a few good things did happen. I made some new friends in a group that I adore very much, in a community that I am very thankful that I'm in. Something really special happened to me a few weeks ago that I'm so grateful for, and I won't really expound upon that right now, but I am just so stoked. Let's talk about pretty much an unmotivating year in 2025 to release any content at all. And you know, I wish I could say that 2026 would be different, but the thing is I don't know. So, this is why I said what I said. Now, I'm going to take a break from Alchemist for the foreseeable future, just because I don't really know what to put on there right now. I don't think it's going to be gaming at the moment. I might make another channel for that. We will see. To be clear, I'm not quitting YouTube entirely. I'll be posting on here probably a little more often now that Alchemist is kind of on the back burner once again. I might stream a little more in the new year, which I know is kind of opposite what I said in the video, but it'll give y'all something to watch. And I have a few projects that I'm working on right now that hopefully will come out in the new year that I'm very excited to share with all of you. That being said, I will not expound on any of those either, just because I want those to be a surprise, and I hope you guys enjoy them as much as I will. This is going to give me time to focus on myself physically in terms of my health, mentally, and just to get me out of this gutter, this pit that I'm in. Like, help me focus on my faith, the thing that's most important to me. I feel like I really haven't focused on my faith in a while. And I don't really like to talk about my faith online just because I think it's personally a private thing. But I am doing better in that regard, but I still could be doing way better, of course. And hopefully this break from school for Christmas will allow me to get creatively inspired again, make the videos that I love making, and not just what the system wants me to make. And I sincerely hope that despite all of my inconsistency and all of my flaws, that you guys will stick around. And if you do, I appreciate it. And if you don't, that's okay too. I understand, but you know, maybe stick around and see where 2026 brings us. I wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. That's going to do it for today, boys, and I'll talk to you again soon.